We're going to practice Dakota Iapi, Dakota language. We come together. Before we start again, I'll say a short prayer. Creator to be with us, to help us along. Help us. I'm going to speak in that fashion to Creator. Dakota Iapi, Dakota Wichoch. Ayadechid, Wahiotak. Okandina epi, or Tachake. O Takojaki, Hodina, Okachnikapta, Wachin. Hichin head wichuni. Aikak, Aichid wichadacha. Hahina, speech ichapt, Okachnikama, Hitchin. Our Tokatakuya, ye Iwashtepte. Ichin dechid Wahiotak, Ato Kantak. Achampetuke, Oshamkidapo. Kiapo, Aya Hitchid Hoi Chichin. Or Tokataki, Hitchidina. Kiapi Hitchid, Unkadaptida. Unkayush Tamshnio, Aya Hitchid Hoi Chichida. O Pirichichida. Omitakuas. How Hitchid do? March 10 app. March 10. March 10 in Dakota sometimes, and we just talked about it, sometimes it's called Ampetu Numinumpa, 2 days in one. Sometimes in the morning, like this morning. Nice day, sun was up, nice day. All of a sudden towards Wiotaha, noon starts to snow. So it was nice, and then now the other half of the day is snowing. So Ampetu Numinapa, nice and not too nice. 2 days in one. Ampetu Numinapa ape. Naku Ishtawichaya Zawi ape. Sore eyes moon. We talked about that last week. Hohina Hetched. Hina, those Hetched. I will speak on those kinds of things, everyday words, that you might find yourself in conversation about. Ihinohana apeto waji dinatakuki iwaya hadakikte. You might speak about days like this or other days that are different, rainy or windy, magaju, tatempa, ampetuk ninde. We always talk about those things as a daily conversation. Hechet Gechami, I thought I'll do that, keep on going with that model, I guess, of just sitting here. Dead Makega, Dakota Woa Hadakikte. I will speak Dakota. You'll hear it. You will understand it. You'll use it. You will use it. So follow along again as I sit here and talk in my language. Nothing too important or of a grave concern or anything like that. It's just everyday language, takushnishne, tidbits like this, little bit of stuff that you might find yourself in conversation about. Gechami do, hachehedo hanai to ake. Dakota wohodag, ohemakikt. Ahana, a long time ago, Ahana in the back day. Wetu kaha. Wichiokpe. In the back day, wetu, the spring, wichiokpe, there's happiness. Wichiokpe je. There's always happiness. Dokacha, you might ask why. You might ask dokacha. Ichin wana. At that time, at this time, ichin wana. Oashtachake. It's good days. Usnishne. It's not cold anymore. Kaiksha wahi hanche. It still snows. Hinach wahi hanche. He'un yok pipe. That is why the people used to be happy, to be in a joyful state of mind. They're leaving the cold days, now entering warmer days. Apetuki hahina akitana. Washte, kate is hot, getting towards the warmth. Kitana kat. I remember when I was a young boy, I used to do a lot of chores for my kunshi, my grandma. Daku echuma, she will tell me to do things for her, little chores around the house and that. I remember in the coldest part of the winter months, in January, December, January, Osanika, kunshi, chaga waji makuche, chaga makuga. Yota kojito. Wach echa, uge odea, wachpe wakagikte. She used to tell me, grandson, she'll give me a little pail. Grandson, go look for some wach echa. Wach echa is in the coldest part of the month. If you go and there's a snowbank. Not all snowbanks have them, but you'll search at the snowbanks. When you dig into the snowbank, you'll find kind of like a hollow area where the snow is in little pebbles. Usually it's kind of like light blue colored. Once you get into it, there's light blue color in there, and the pebbles, the snow pebbles, will just fall out. They'll roll out, and that's what my kunshi, my grandma used to say. Odeya, look for some wach echa, wachpe tea, wakagikte. I will make tea. She used to make tea. She liked that. I don't know if it's in the taste or what, but she used to like making tea out of the wach echa. She used to enjoy having tea like that. I remember searching in the deep snows with a little shovel she had. Makinashpe shovel she had. I'll go search for a wach echa. If I find them, I'll put them in a pail and I'll take them back. Hey do kunshi do here this kunshi wach echa. Ha. Put it on the stove. You melt it. Skanya. Skan is melting. Skanya. Skanki when it's melted. Skanki wachpe wakagikte. I'm gonna make some wachpe tea. She used to say that. And those are kind of like days that I used to enjoy doing back in the day, helping my grandma around the house. Little chores like that. That gives you responsibility when you're growing up. You listen anaagupta. Wawoho dapi. Wawokiapi. Having respect, wawokiapi. Wawohodapi. Wawokiapi is being helpful. Around the house. Lots of things to do back then. Keep the ocheti going. Keep the stove going. Cha'a umpa. Put wood in the fire, in the stove. Keep you warm. These kinds of things we're used to doing in our young days. Many of us my age, we grew up like that. We didn't grow up with hydro. Wakahadi. Wakahadi is the hydro. And wakahadi is also petrol, gas, fuel, wakahadi. Waka is mysterious, sacred. Ihidi is the essence of it, the essence of this energy. Waka ihidi. That's the hydro, electricity. Also, it's petrol, gas. We don't understand it. We don't understand. It's mysterious how these things work as a Dakota mind, Dakota perspective. Stud uyamshne, we don't understand it. So we give it the term, the word waka, sacred, unknown, mysterious. But the essence of the mystery, is the electricity, the energy, and the petrol, the gas. We don't know how it works, but so we give it that term, something mysterious that we don't understand. Also, radio, if you want to say radio, the thing that you listen to, it makes a noise you listen to. You hear the words. Is the radio. You should always have a radio. Ampetu tokhecha. We listen to the radio for news and weather. Wo'oyake is the news. Wo'oyake news. Ampetu tokhetu, the weather. We used to turn the radio. See how the day is going, or see what the news is all about back then. So these are common words that we used to hear, and we still have those things. The radio, ocheti is the stove, ocheti, and these kinds of things, everyday words that are still used today. Of course, the stove is electric now, but we still use the term ocheti. There's a fire in there, Ocheti is to make a fire. Ocheti is what you make the fire in. Ocheti, there's the stove. So these are words that we grew up using, and they're still in use today. Many words are still in use today. It's still relevant. Umpicha, relevancy, umpicha. You can still use it. So hena, awachimahiyotake, I think of those things. So takarewato naka ana, I looked outside, takarewato. Awashtechake. O iogeta, Brandon, o iogeta bedekt, takun echamukt. Naka ana, this morning, o iogeta wa'i. Oyoge is where you cross a river. Oyoge. Iapi, you cross a river. Usually where it's shallow. The Dakota name for Brandon, Manitoba is Oyoge. Oyoge ta, there, ta. Bedekte, I will go over there, I'm going over there. Oyoge ta wa'i, I went to Brandon. Takushnishnei chamo, I did a few things. When it's getting close to noon, I was in a hurry. Just like I was shaking, I was doing things fast. I made it home in good time. But the roads were not snow covered. The road was bare. It was dark. Chankuki sabiaonke. Naka de waukte Just when I was going to come this way, I looked outside again. Wahi he. Chankuku ishto, the road ishto, skayawanke, it's white. Skayawanke. It might be slippery. Okay, I was thinking of going back to Brandon again today. One of my friends is in the hospital in care. I wanted to go and visit him. Oyazan TP da. Oyazan TP. The place where you go when you're sick. Oyazan TP. Da is there. Da is there. Wonke is laying over there. Wayagi wachame. I was thinking of going to see him. Wayaka wachame. Tka, you know, if it keeps snowing, you know, then maybe not. Maybe not. I won't go. There's always a ke tomorrow. There's always a day tomorrow. So maybe achana tomorrow. No achana hehan, then hehan. Achana hehan bedekte. I will go. Get chami. That's what I'm thinking. Get chami. Hina apetu ka hechikchit. Takush nishni echamo. Daily, apetuki dina daily. I do little things like that. Keep me busy. Takushnishne echam. Hoheched make. That's how I sit at home. Hohina those. Iwo wahadake I talk about. Shawetu awacham. I'm thinking about spring later on in spring. Apimiche getting ready. Apimiche. Mihidui yaya getting myself ready for later on in spring when the snow is melted. Walking shdo. Walk is snow. Shdo is melted. It will be nice outside. Yesterday, takari nawaje. Achana chata. Yesterday, takari nawaje. I stood outside. I was listening. Zitkadawa. Wetu achaya Iapi. Zitkada is the bird. Wetu is the spring. Achaya. He's crying for spring. He's crying for the coming of spring. Zitkada kinde. This bird. Zitkada kinde. This bird. You hear him around this time. Has a little whistly kind of a tune. It seems like he's saying wetu, as he's flying around, flying around, sitting in a tree in front of the house, wetu, joyak, just like whistling. Kushi used to say, wetu zitkada, spring bird, come home to announce, oyake. Announce ye oyake. Wetu acheye is crying for spring weather. Unkokiakapi, he's telling us, or she's telling us. Wetu, waiting for spring. The bird is not a very big bird. Maybe about this big, I guess, gray in color. I don't know. Washichu in English. I don't know what the bird is called, but it's kind of gray like this, maybe about this big, kind of like a robin size. You can see him and hear him. Sachtani ha anagop the notion takad katakura nachoshin. I didn't hear him. Okay, nakach ana this morning again. Nakach ana ka nachopta. To kiyaya. Where is this wetu zitkada? This spring bird. I don't see him yet. I don't hear him yet. I don't see him yet. Toshta. Eventually, Toshta, he will be back. She will be back. Hedikte. He'll come back. He'll arrive. Hedikte. Ake doa unkte. Ake, he'll be singing around. Wetu. Aya. Kia unkte. He'll be flying around. Chawakan yakekte. Chawakan is, cha is tree or wood. Chawakan, wakan, up there, wakan. Yakekte, he'll be sitting over there. Or ishkia unkte, he'll be flying around, calling out for wetu. When you hear those sounds of spring, that's what makes you happy. You're energized, you're happy. Oh yes, better days are coming. Ampetu washteshti ukte. Ampetu washteshti u. Better days are coming. Ukte is better days will come. Not here yet, but it's coming. The wetu bird. So listen, those of you that are around the northern parts like this, Canada, hachanakaha in the morning, hachanakaha, takari najwa. In the morning, takari najwa. Stand outside. Takari najwa. Anachupta. Listen. Anachupta. Abedezawa. Look around. See if you can hear him. Ito nayach unkeha. Ish or wadakekeha. See if you'll see him. You'll hear him. You just have to look out for him. Oyadikte. So, see if you can do that from now on until spring is here, until the snow is gone. Usually he's back around later part of February into March. You'll hear him in the morning. He sounds excited when he's whistling like that. Wetu, it's flying around. So hina. Unchi shichara ekshehe, the crow. Unchi shichara. Unchi is like a grandmother. Shichara, the bad one. The bad grandmother, if you want to say it that way. Unchi shichara. Everybody hates the crows. They're too noisy. Ihonia. Hotumpe. Hachanaka. In the morning. Hachana chiata. Unchishichara. Sh'ag just like they're yelling. Sh'ag Wita. Wita is together. Hotum upe. Henaksha did opich apiona. You can see them around here now. Some of them, not too many yet. Kanrig eksha otape, kanrig hai no raven hatch. Kanrig raven. Heksha wanito ata dedumche. They are here throughout the winter. Wanito ataya throughout the winter. Kanrig. Henaksha itoka gataki yapshniche, they don't go south. Itoka gatakia onitoka yapshne. Unchishijara eksha hayache. It's the crow that goes south. Wadecha around this time. Late February, March, ona ichipashku is coming back. The crow. So these things I watch out for. Takari naje. Anachuptan listen. Obviously. Wan bidig eksha wana hadipe. The wampadi, the eagle, they're back now. I seen a couple of them the other day. Bald-headed eagle, wampadi paska, the bald-headed eagle, wampadi paska. The ones with the bald head, the white head, and the white tail. Anung paska Iapi. Anung paska. White head with white tail, matching white tail. Anung paska. Anung is on each side. On each side. The head and the tail. Anung paska. White on both sides, on both ends. Anung paska. That I saw. Chtani hunking, huh? Naku Itokab, apeti Itokab. A few days before that I saw one too, so. Along in the back days, when they come like that, the old people, I see Kunshi do that. Kunshi hates Kunshi. Wabidi ahadi. Are the eagles back? Wanahadip. He nakishina Kunshi not yet. Wanahadip ka umakyaka. If they're back, let me know. How toshta Kunshi? I will. So when they're back, I say Kunshi. Ona Kunshi wabidi ahadido. Chandida kitokam. Where's my tobacco? Chandi odega, she gets her tobacco. Chandi kikchu. Ojo hadaga. Chandi chu. Yaha takari naji. She'll go outside. I hardly watch her, but I can hear her. I don't even know what she's going to do. She's going to say prayer. Ochiki ek. Wamadia hadihun. The Tunkanshidas, the grandfathers, the old ones. Wacheke. She prays to the Wambadi, to the eagle, for them coming back. It's good to see them again. Yonk pipi, we're happy to see them again. They're coming back. Ake kupi. Like that. Kunshi used to do these kinds of things. And the other thing, akenaku taku, she used to wait for. Uyochpata, to the west. Uyochpata, etwa, look to the west. Uyochpata etwa. Amach biakuhe, are the clouds coming? Yeah, what she's talking about is the dark clouds. Like say in April, May, somewhere in there. She'll be waiting for the thunder nation, the thunder beings, Wakia. Wakia is the thunderbird. She's really looking over that way. Again. First time the thunders come through again. She where's my tobacco? Hey, look, Kunshi. There it is, Kunshi. Here it is. Okay. Wacheke. Chanteshada tokamichich takoja. Chanteshada is the ground cedar. If you go to the hills, Pahagdina Yaza Yonka. If you go hill to hill, Yaza. Chanteshada wadakik, you'll see chanteshada, they grow on the ground. Really, really long vines. Pull them up. Take pieces, because they're really long, you can't just pull them off. Well, at that time when I was young anyway, you can't pull them off. They're pretty tough to pull out of the ground, so just used to cut them. Kunshum sped on you, huh? She had a little axe. She always keeps it. She always has a knife. Cut them. Chanteshada, the ground cedar. She'll dry them. Pusia. After they're dry, pusika, hina. You can't. She takes the ferns, if you want to call it. She takes them off and puts them in little bags. Wojuha bag. Ohanak. Head ohanak. The first time the Wakia Kuka, the thunders are coming. She prays. She respects the thunders. And then she's always got that stove going. What cheki on that cedar you ha. Khateshri you ha a cheki chandi yahana with the tobacco. When the stove is going hot, then she'll put it on there. Smudge. Hey, Konshitoka Chahechano cha. I asked her one time, hey, why do you do that, Konshitoka Chahechano? Aiche Takoja, she said, grandson. Wakia Kidina Wakampe. These thunder beings, this thunder is mysterious, is sacred, Wakampe. Mini Akupi, Mini Wichoni Akupi, they're bringing life-giving water. Many we can't be without water. So they bring life, they bring water. Wopida, we say thank you. But also they can be destructive, she used to say. They can have powerful winds, big winds, they can be destructive. So we pray, we say, come in a good way. Don't harm anybody. She'll say in those prayers, come in a good way. Thank you for bringing the rain. Wopide chiche. The first time they come through. She used to do that many years. When I grew up with her, she is like that. Respectful of nature. What Unchimaka, Grandmother Earth, Unchimaka, gives us life, gives us sustenance. And everything in life, she respects all that. That's how Indian is. Dakota, not only Dakota, but other tribes are like that too. They respect the water, they respect all the elements. And they pray to those in different times of the seasons, just like the Wakians. So all summer it'll be Wakia Tuampe. The thunderbirds are looking, Tuampe, they're looking. That's the lightning. Wakia Tuampe. Is Wakia Hotumpe. The thunderbirds are voicing, they're thundering. You can hear them. Hotumpe. They're yelling, they're calling out. Hotumpe. Hakahina Anauhuptumpe, we listen. Come September, it might be in September, that'll be the last time they go through, the very last time they go through. After that, we say, Wopida, thank you. Pidao thank you very much for refreshing Unchimaka, for the waters, many wichuni. Pidao we are thankful. The last time they go through, again we say thank you. Chadida tokamichecho. Where's my chandi? So hina, those are daily or monthly activities that I grew up watching and listening and doing eventually. Or later on. Ija my uncle, my grandpa, he waits for those Wakians to come back. First time they're coming, puts up oeni tipi, puts up the sweat. He's be looking towards. Now Wakia kupi, they're coming now. They're coming home. He puts up that sweat. Special colors, special markings on it. Ija, he'll be praying. Ija, him too, he'll be praying. Giving thanks. Wopide wichaki. Akimini wichuni you're coming home with life-giving water. Wopida. That's the start of their Inipi season, the start of their sweat lodge season, when the first time they come back, and then all summer till maybe September, end of September, when the last time they go through. They put up the last sweat lodge. Opida, thank you very much. Opida, Iapi, okay. So we were always in, at least the old people, they're always in a prayerful manner. They always seem to be praying. Every day my kush praying. Every night she's praying, good night. Ochike Iapi, Ihunia. Ihunia is all the time. Creator of all content. Uchimaka. Grandmother Earth. Tate o uye dopa. The four directions. Tate o uye. From whence the wind comes. Tate o uye. U is coming. From whence they come. O uye. Wiochbata, the west. Waziata, the north. Wiohiampata, the east. Idokagata, the south. O uye, from whence they come. The tate o uye topa, four directions. Machpiatake, makatake. These directions are important in understanding culture, a form of, if you want to call it religion, wocheke. Do you remember those? Their grandparents and their generations. Uchoichache, hektake hina. Hektake is on the back days. Hina, those. Heched, like that. Umpi, they exist. Heched, umpi. So it was back in the day, it's normal. We just hear prayers all the time, In Dakota, we listen. And one thing I talked about last week, also kind of like I don't know if everybody does that or not. At least my grandma did that. The equinox that's coming up next week, I think, March 20th, equinox. The sun, of course, we know, goes back and forth. The rising of the sun, goes back and forth every year since time, beginning of time. My kunshi used to always kunshi Abadez, she always watches that, She'll be saying, oh, no, champaki sapik dikira, the choke trees are going to be black soon, they'll be ripe soon. Or she might say, ona tips in the wild turnips are going to be ready soon. Or she might say, should start preparing the small gardens, family gardens. How does she know that? I used to think, but as a young boy, I never really gave it too much thought. These are just words that she'll be using as she has visitors, other kunshis that come there. They'll be talking like that. And then I was maybe about 5, 6, 7 years old. I did notice that we lived in a log house, Chantipi log house. Ohana Oyakapi. We lived in a log house. On the west side of the log house, there's a bare log there right across. And I've noticed this, but I never questioned it. I don't question her about that. There's marks all along this wall, this log, marks. I've noticed it, but I never questioned. I never questioned my grandma. Until one time when I was older, maybe I was 10 or maybe 12, somewhere in there. Then I did ask my kunshi. She woke up one morning. I thought she kind of said, "Di wihina pishne," or the sun is out, or the sun is risen already, but it's cloudy. And she was complaining about that. It was in the springtime, I remember, anyway. And I asked her why she was complaining about this overcast, cloudy day. I changed, she said, because the sun is not shining on this wall over here. And I was saying, I said, when the sun comes up, especially when it's bright outside, there's no clouds. We had an east window. When the sun rises, when it's shining, when it's coming over the horizon, then the light of that casts a shadow over here on the wall, on that log. It casts a shadow. So this is what she looks at. As the sun is rising, coming north from the winter solstice, December 21st, when it goes the furthest south, at the end, it died. It stands there. It doesn't go any further. And here's the mark that's coinciding through the window. There's a shadow here. As it's moving north, the shadow goes this. When they march, we march. The shadow, the March sunrise is kind of like towards the middle. So March 20th, it'll be equinox. It'll be halfway from its movement going north. So when it's right here straight east, then the shadow casts over there, kind of in the middle of all these marks. As it moves north, the shadow goes that way. Sometimes you'll say, it's coming to a stop, to an end, the sun, she will say. As it goes June 20th, 21st, it goes the furthest south. And she has a mark over there on that log where it goes the furthest south. So as it goes south again, a shadow goes back this way again. That's how she used to know. And then I realized that's how she knows. What the events that she's talking about. When the choke cherries are going to be ripe, she knows. When the time to do little gardens, she knows that. That'll be in May, March, April, May, and the shadow will be over here a little bit. So that's how she knew when things are going to happen. When the wild turnips are ready in July, like that. Then I realized that when I was maybe about 10, 12 years old. So that was her sundial, or her months of the year, according to the shadow that the sun makes on that wall. I thought that was pretty cool. Knowing that, understanding that, so that's how my grandma was back in the day. That's how maybe a lot of homes did that. I'm not sure, but that's how my grandma was. So we existed. We lived like that. They know about their surroundings back in the day, because they're dependent on the seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. They got activities to do. So they're always aware of their environment and their surroundings. I thought that was pretty cool. But now we just look at our calendar on the wall, and say, okay, it's May 15 now. We're gonna start our garden, get working on the garden, prepare the garden. It's May 15th. Like that. And back then, in the days, it wasn't like that. Maybe it's easier that way. So we forgot about these old traditions. But they're still applicable. Henach pizza applicable, pizza, it's still useful, pizza. So one of those things we shouldn't forget how we used to live, how we used to tell times, seasonal times, and these kinds of things. So I thought I'll mention that as a historical information, if you want to call it that. How we grew up in the back days and how it is today. You know, not much different, but different tools that we have. A tool is wotawe. All these are tools. They're not wotawe. These are tools. Tools that you use in your daily life. Woapi chahu, woapi, woyake. Like that. All the tools that are necessary in our daily lives are called wotawe, tools. So, as we go on into the future, we experience, we understand different wotawes, different tools that we will use. I guess maybe, I don't know if it'll be much different or many new technologies. I'm not sure. Technology is good, and then maybe it's not so good in some instances. You know, our kids are too glued to their phones. All they do is just sit there 10 hours a day, getting occupied by our phones. Omas ape. Omas ape is the phone or the tablets, you know. So it's a good thing, and yet it's not so good in some cases. The World Wide Web. I talked about what the Iktomi. I talked about Iktomi last week. Apetuakan is 1 week from, according to the Gregorian calendar, the calendar months and the calendar weeks. The calendar week from Sunday to Sunday. Sunday is called Apetuakan. From Sunday to Sunday, Apetuakan waji, 1 week. And yesterday was Apetuaji. But last week, sometime I think, or it was Wednesday, I think it was, that I talked about Iktomi. Iktomi is the spider. Spider is considered a trickster. He will trick you into doing things that you shouldn't be doing, you know. But we learn by it, you know. Back in the day, I guess the animals, the birds, the animals, when they see Iktomi, they say, Hantawa, look out, Iktomi is coming. A lot of times Iktomi will be walking by. He wouldn't acknowledge anybody, none of these birds or animals that are watching him, because they don't trust him. He'll be walking by nonchalantly, just going about his business, because he knows they're watching him. But through his actions, he has many, many actions that the old ones used to talk about, but they use it as a learning tool. And last week I was talking about Iktomi and the world view, how the world is today. If you think about it, how the world is today. There's many storms, there's wars, there's famine, or whatever it is, the world. If you really think about it, if you think about it, how the world is. Today we can say the world is not doing too good. And why is that? We can blame it on Iktomi. Iktomi plays on your mind. The more he makes you do negative things or things that are not good, he gets energy out of it. He gets bigger out of it because he's fooling people. Do this, do that. That's not good for you. So my koshe, when I was again young, she used to talk about iktomi. You have to watch him. He's going to fool man. How much he fools man, you can tell by how much he has woven his web around the world. She said Uktomi is weaving a web around the world, starting from the bottom, coming up. She used to say that you'll know man according to the spider web. When the spider, as he's making the web around the world, when he encloses it, he said he's influenced man in a negative way, in a negative fashion, and the world will suffer. And she used to say, at that time when I was young, he's getting close to half. He's making this web around the world close to half. So that would mean that he's got half of the world, half of the population of the world fooled already. And he's still working on it. And my uncle one time said, Unktomi, hohotaro hana, okay? Unktomi are just laying in his web. People come by, they feed him. Feeding him means that they're listening to what he's saying, what he's getting them to do. That is not good. So that's how he gets fed, because he's fooling these people. So he lays in his hohotara, his web, and people keep on feeding him. He's getting bigger and bigger, getting fatter and fatter, because he's fooling many people. He doesn't have to do anything. All he has to do is fool people. So is he fooling the leaders of the world, maybe, as the web gets, further along? So back in the day when I was young like that, maybe early teens, she said that he's close to halfway now. So how far has he gone now in making this web? I used to think about that a lot when I was growing up. So one time, I took some university courses. I think back in the 70s. I think it was. That was before the first time internet started. World Wide Web. Remember? www. World Wide Web. I took Computer 101. They're little Apple computers, maybe about this big. And the first computers are they're cute, just like a big radio, We learned all about how this computer works with ones and zeros or whatever it was, We knew about the computer. When I took that first class, Computer 101, and it's called the World Wide Web, then I thought about it. World Wide Web. I was wondering about what my grandma said about Iktomi building that web and getting close to halfway now. It made me think, I wonder if this is what's happening. I wonder if this is an indicator how far Iktomi has advanced in making this web around the world. Because today, definitely, it's gotten worse. It's worse now around the world. There's wars and rumors of wars. There's viruses, there's this, and there's shooting, there's that. All over the world it's like that. Our leaders are compromised. The economy, all these kinds of things. And Uktomi is laying there getting fed. He's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Is he getting close to closing it up? Are we there as humanity? We choichakik this generation. Are we close to that era now where Uktomi has fooled everybody? We don't have critical thinking anymore, maybe, as a civilization, as a society. We've gotten worse. We don't think properly. We don't apply ourselves properly. So is he very successful? You know, I would, if that is what it is, I think that can certainly be, the world affairs are today could certainly be, what Iktomi is doing, fooling the mind of the people. So I thought I'll explain that. Last week I was talking about this in Dakota. So I thought I'll explain that, you use your voice, think, contemplate, and you'll understand. Thinking outside the box. Where are we as a community? Where are we as a people, as a Dakota nation, Dakota, Lakota, Nakota? Where are we? Is Iktomi fooling us? Are we listening to Iktomi? Which causes us to lose language, culture, these kinds of things. We don't listen to him, or we're listening to him. Just some things to think about. So I've been thinking like that lately, what the old people talk about, the times of the future. So something for you to think about, Nija, you too, you think about it. But your surroundings, of your community, of who you are, what you are, where you're supposed to be, who you're supposed to be, according to Creator. So hina yukchampo, think about these things. Are we listening to Iktomi? So itoga shanakshakte will come to a break right now. I'll go that far, and then we'll come back for a few minutes after the break of maybe 10 minutes or so. Hey, Chitu. Ake Unhudipi though, we are back for the second session. We won't go too far into the afternoon. We might go for another 15-20 minutes. We will finish. And now we will go that far. Get chami, that's what I'm thinking anyways. Nakach ana, this afternoon. Takushnishni I talked about a little bit of this, that. Takushnishni ahana tokid uyankumke. Hina iwa hadake, how we lived in the back days. Though they say, history is important. Where we were, how we were, is important to understand and to learn how much change there is in life today and where we're going to go from here. How are we going to thrive and survive moving into the future? Sovereignty Iapi. Us. We will take ourselves into the future. We will decide for ourselves into the future, for the future. We don't have to ask nobody. Can we do this? Can we do this? No. We decide for ourselves how we're going to move into the future, moving into the future. That is what is called sovereignty. What Creator gave you, Atewa Kantanka, Taku Unkupi, what He gave us, Atewa Kantanka gave us a territory, a land base. Ochete Shakoan land base is huge, a wide area. Dakota, Lakota, Nakota, 3 dialects, gave us a life on this territory that Creator gave us. He gave us an understanding of our territory, what we need to survive. So we had to understand our environment, because it is Unchimaka, the environment, that gave us sustenance, a way of life. Now that's what Creator gave us as we understand it. Okay? And those things, they say in Washicha, those are inalienable. Nobody can take those away from us, legally, because the Creator gave us that. But we can give it up willingly if we want. I don't believe in Creator anymore. You can whatever, Giving up who you are, what Creator gave you, how to live your life, and all these kinds of things are inalienable. Creator instructed you to live in this way, in this territory, as we understand it. I hear the old people talk around the Iapi, or when the old people are sitting around in the back days. I just used to sit there and listen. And I once, or more than once, heard the old guys, how, where we come from. They point to a makhbiatake, they point to not the heavens, but to the sky, to the cosmos, to the universe. Hipi, we come from over there. Way in the back days. Way in the back. Beginning of time, if you want to call it. Tukteta we chuni life, where life began. Before that, we're over here somewhere, in the sky, in the universe. I heard the old guys, they talked about this and how Creator made this existence that we live in today, that we call life, we chuni, that we understand. This is how they said it. In the very beginning. Oto kayaghe ha. Wakantanka app, Wakantanka, the great creator that influences us, gave us life. They talked about him, and they said the first thing he created was this universe, the cosmos that we understand. Machpia kagacha app. He made the universe, the air. He made that first. This universe, I don't know how big it is, but he made that. Machpia tokach kag. On inupagha, the other thing that he made was unchimaka app, grandmother earth. He made the sky, he made the earth. And that's the second thing he created. And the third thing that he created is the water of life. Mini Wichuni, he created that. Mini Wichuni. And the fourth thing that he created, of course he had to divide the water and the land first. Then the fourth thing he created was the tree. Chunky kag, he made the tree. In that order, he made existence as we know it today. So here is the universe. It has many stars. It has many things out there. We're not alone. We are not alone. There's many things out there. Some are spiritual, some are physical. The planets, the stars. Wichachpi is the planet-star systems. That's in the universe. So he made that first, the universe. Then he made the Unchimaka earth, and then Mini, the water, and he put the tree of life. The tree of life represents all that he's created on earth. That's the birds, the animals, the fish, all living things. Even the rock has a spirit. All the creation on the earth, that is represented by the tree of life. Sometimes you see in the sun dances, the big lodges, you can see the century tree, the Chawaka, the sacred tree, the mysterious tree that gives us life, that shows us our existence. This is the one you talk to. The tree is the one you talk to for the message to go to Creator at those times, at those sacred times. I hear the old guys, the grandpas, they talk like that of existence, how we exist today here. What Creator gave us. This is what Creator gave us. So that's why in Dakotas, and this word is used all over Indian country now. Mitakuye owas. Mitakuye owas. Mitakuye is my relative. Owas means all. All my relatives, mitakuye owas. When they say mitakuye owas, that means all that's created by Creator, those are our relatives. From the birds in the air, the animals on earth, the fish and beings of the water, the oceans, the bugs that exist in there, all living things, even the rock that we take to Inipis, we take to Inipi grandfather. All these things that's created is represented by that man or that tree. Man is represented there as relative to everybody. all things. That's why we say, mitakuye owas, all my relatives. You hear that word being said all over the Indian country now, mitakuye owas. So I thought I'll mention that. That is who we are. Way in the back days, it started like that. When did we learn how to do these things that we do, like in a prayer, and the culture that we have, the ceremonies that we have? How do we know these things? See, when you believe in a creator that guides us every day, if you believe, have faith, with each other. Chante ochoasle with all your heart, chante ochoasle, each other. He will guide you. Tokate ke aniekte, he will guide you into the future. So these things that he gave us, there's purpose behind everything. Purpose behind the language, purpose behind the activities that we do as a culture. Back days it was hunting the buffalo to survive, for your teepee, for your food, for your utensils, tools, from the buffalo, and other beings such as them. We know about the tipsina, the wild turnips, the wild onions, the berries, even foods in the water, smudge, and all these kinds of things that he taught us. The medicines, many, many medicines that we know today. Indian medicines today are sometimes used in the Washichu, the medical field, in the Washichu world too. Whoever knew that the aspirin comes from the poplar tree? Who knew that? And we use that bark. Aspirin is something that we rely on. It's for pain management. And who would have thunk that, eh? Like aspirin, okay. We didn't know that came from the poplar tree. The poplar buds is what birds eat, animals eat that, we eat that, or make a drink out of that. These kinds of things. Who would have knew that, So these are things that give us life, gives us a good existence in our territory that we haven't given up. We haven't given that up in written form, agreement, to anybody. So it's still ours. The Dakota territory is still ours. We didn't sign it away through treaty. We don't have a treaty, but we do have an understanding, an agreement with the monarchy, with the crown, So Dakota unkiyapte, we will speak Dakota. Dakota unyakumte, we will exist as a Dakota. We will live as a Dakota. Dakota untipte, because that is who we are. He unkiepe, that is who we are. We didn't give it up. It was taken from us. Tried to be taken from us. They're trying to take it from us. If we understand that, Dakota, the existence of a Dakota will hang on to that, because we haven't given it up. So language is important. Dakota Iapi de otechik okante unhuduzapu. We hold it to a high standard. Dakota Iapi. Next week, apeto akawaji. Next week, there's a language bowl in Brandon. A language bowl. Shichecha, young kids, otanka hehaya. Wakankara, old elder kunshis. We chachchara. They come together as takorjas. Language bo Dakota iwohadakapta. Dakota on speech chapter. They're going to teach themselves Dakota. The way wayu pick akini chapter. See who is the best. Akini chapter. They're going to have a tournament. See who's the best. It's going to be exciting times next week. So I know a lot of the Dakota communities know that the dates are coming up. That's next week. I think it's 16 and 17, I believe. Something like that. Anyways, next Monday, Tuesday. So see you all there. Let's practice being Dakota. Let's live like Dakota. Practice, they will practice being Dakota until we got proficient. When pick up, they will be good at it. That is who we are. They will teach ourselves. They will help each other. Dakota will speak the language. With the language comes understanding of who you are, who you're supposed to be. Who are you? Who do you think you're supposed to be? Creator, Ateo Kantaka. Give us an identity. Identity is the language. Iapi de. Dakota Chaje, Indian name. Dakota Chaje. Dakota name. Those two give you an identity. Nituig he hinaus. And we live in this territory called Ocheti Shakoi, Tamakoche, their territory. So, give you encouragement. Dakoti apo, wana shkampo, do it now. Dina danikotape, you are Dakota. Mija damakota, dina danikotape. Ospechi chiapo, teach yourself. Kich umpo, use it, it's yours. So that we will remain who we are, which life, who we're given to be in life is Dakota. So I'll leave you with that for today. Hina hetsek sherakir wahadaki, ikchek a little bit here and there. Dakoti wa ikden naachumte. Dakoti wa makigden naachumte. Stodiayap kaha nija ehapte, nija numpte. Uspinichi chapte hech uyampta wachi. But sitting here speaking using the language, I want you to understand what I'm saying. Once you understand what I'm saying, I want you to use it. That is how I want you to be. Because I understand Creator's instruction. He gave us a life as Dakota. We haven't given that up. Yet, anyway, so let's not give it up. Let's remain Dakota. Practice, practice, practice. Listen and use. Listen, understand, and use. Nach umba okachniga by umpo. How chitro mitaku epitoga shanak shaktro.